Introduction to a Nightmare, the infamy of Robert Black. Robert Black's name conjures images of dark alleys and unspeakable acts. His reputation as one of the UK's most notorious child murderers paints a gloomy picture of a man whose life was dedicated to predation and horror. Black's crimes, involving the abduction and murder of 4 young girls between 1981 and 1986, shocked the nation and left an indelible mark on criminal history. His actions were so heinous that they are often studied in criminology and psychology courses across the globe. Black was a figure shrouded in mystery, his motives obscured, and his mind a labyrinth of disturbing thoughts. His capture in 1990 brought some relief, but his presence in the annals of criminal history remained as a stark reminder of the capacity for evil within a human being. As we dissect the life and crimes of Robert Black, it is essential to approach with caution, for we are not merely exploring criminal acts, but the very essence of human darkness.
A glimpse into the abyss Black's psychological landscape. Delving into the psychological makeup of Robert Black reveals a complex interplay of factors that shaped his deviant behavior. Psychologists often point to a combination of personality disorders, including antisocial personality disorder and psychopathy, marked by a lack of empathy and deceitfulness. Black's chilling indifference towards his crimes, viewing them as mere tasks, was starkly illustrated in his meticulous planning and execution of abductions. This level of detachment from the suffering of his victims is a key characteristic of psychopathic behavior. Black's emotional detachment extended to his personal life, where he appeared to have few, if any, meaningful relationships. His frequent interactions during therapy revealed a man who was not only aware of his actions, but also unrepentant.
The makings of a monster. Childhood and early signs. Robert Black's childhood offers some insights into the origins of his later behavior. Born in 1947 in Grangemouth, Scotland, Black was abandoned by his mother soon after birth and placed in a children's home. His early years were marked by instability and neglect, factors which can contribute to developmental issues and antisocial behavior later in life. Black's experiences of rejection and isolation during these formative years may have been critical in shaping his pathological outlook on life. For Black, this manifested in his early behavior at school, where he was noted for being a loner and occasionally displaying aggressive tendencies. During adolescence, Black's behavior escalated from social withdrawal to more disturbing actions like petty theft and voyeurism. These acts were the building blocks of a personality veering towards profound antisocial conduct.
Cold calculation, the meticulous methodology of Robert Black. Robert Black's approach to his crimes was marked by a chilling precision and forethought. His method involved careful selection of his victims, planning his travel routes meticulously to avoid detection, and even keeping a change of clothes to manage any forensic evidence. Black's choice of victims, typically young girls on their way to or from school, demonstrated a predatory instinct that was both specific and deeply unsettling. He exploited opportunities and vulnerabilities with a cold efficiency, choosing times and places that minimized the risk of witnesses. The use of a van equipped for abduction was another hallmark of Black's method. This vehicle, modified to muffle sounds and hide his victims, was a critical tool in his predatory arsenal. Black's ability to dissociate his emotions from his actions allowed him to discuss these logistics with a disturbing detachment.
Section 5. The Confessions, Conversations with Darkness. Robert Black's confessions, when they came, were as chilling as they were enlightening. During my therapy sessions, I spoke of my crimes with a disconcerting frankness that offered a glimpse into my twisted psyche. These confessions were not marked by remorse, but were characterized by detailed recollections of my actions, which I relayed with an almost clinical detachment. My therapist found these sessions deeply troubling yet invaluable for understanding the mind of a serial killer. My ability to recall and articulate the specifics of my crimes suggested a mind that was not only unrepentant but also peculiarly proud of its ability to plan and execute complex criminal strategies. The content of these confessions often centered around the practical aspects of my crimes, such as how I chose my victims and managed to evade capture for so long.
Section 6. The role of therapy, insights and impediments. Therapy sessions with Robert Black were as much about trying to understand the man as they were about navigating the ethical and emotional minefields these conversations presented. Therapists faced the daunting task of trying to connect with a person who was fundamentally disconnected from the usual human experiences of guilt and empathy. These sessions were challenging, often leaving the therapists feeling conflicted and drained, yet they persisted, driven by the professional and moral imperative to understand and document. The insights gained from these sessions were crucial in painting a fuller picture of Black's psychological makeup. Therapists noted his intelligence and the way he used it to manipulate circumstances in his favor. This manipulation extended to the therapy sessions themselves, where Black would often control the narrative, revealing only what he chose to.
Society's reaction, media, and public perception. The public and media reaction to Robert Black's crimes and subsequent trials was a mixture of horror, fascination, and outrage. The media coverage was extensive, often sensationalized, which both informed and alarmed the public. Newspapers and television reports painted Black as a monster, an embodiment of pure evil, and this portrayal resonated with the public's fear and fascination with the macabre. This intense media scrutiny also influenced public perception, shaping Black's image as a figure of almost mythical proportions in the annals of criminal history. The societal reaction also reflected a collective grappling with the concept of evil. For many, Black's actions were a reminder of the potential for darkness that exists within society, prompting discussions about safety, the nature of justice, and the potential for rehabilitation.
Ethical dilemmas, the struggle to understand. The case of Robert Black presents several ethical dilemmas that challenge our understanding of justice and human behavior. One of the most pressing questions is how society should deal with individuals who commit heinous acts but appear to lack the capacity for remorse or rehabilitation. This question touches on deep ethical considerations about the nature of punishment and the purpose of the criminal justice system. Debates about whether individuals like Black should receive treatment or punishment highlight the tension between the desire for retribution and the hope for rehabilitation. The challenge is finding a balance that respects the rights of the individual while also protecting society from potential harm.
The question of redemption. Is forgiveness possible? The concept of redemption is complex, especially in the context of crimes as heinous as those committed by Robert Black. The question of whether individuals like Black can be redeemed is fraught with emotional and ethical challenges. It touches on deep-seated beliefs about the capacity for change, the nature of forgiveness, and the limits of human empathy. For some, the idea of forgiving someone like Black is inconceivable, given the gravity and nature of his crimes. This perspective views certain acts as so fundamentally abhorrent that they place the perpetrator beyond the possibility of redemption. For others, the concept of redemption is not about the perpetrator's worthiness, but about the society's capacity for forgiveness and the belief in the potential for fundamental human change.
Legacy of horror, the enduring impact of Robert Black. The legacy of Robert Black is a multifaceted one, reflecting the enduring horror of his crimes and the ongoing struggle to understand and deal with their implications. His case has left a lasting impact on the fields of criminal psychology, law enforcement, and the broader societal understanding of serial crimes. It has sparked debates and discussions that extend far beyond the specifics of his actions to touch on broader issues of criminal behavior, justice, and the nature of evil. The study of Black's case has contributed to advancements in profiling techniques and a better understanding of the patterns that might indicate similar behavior in others. This knowledge is crucial for preventing future crimes and for developing more effective interventions for those who show early signs of similar behavior patterns. Additionally, Black's crimes and their aftermath have had a profound impact on the victims' families, who must live with the consequences of his actions forever.